in my face like a crazy woman last night.
It
And
sounds
now,
amazing.
nope, I think that like my entire face is now falling off because since we've been in quarantine, I'm like, how can I get my skin perfect? How
Hmm.
can I get my hair perfect? Yes, I am going through Botox withdrawals as well, silver linings. Linda just said hi, Abby.
Hi, Linda. Oh, I can see.
Perfect. Yeah. So I've been like retinoling and doing like every skin mask that I have, and now my skin is severely falling off. But at least I'm in quarantine, right?
Exactly. I actually experimented with a new self tanner today, this morning. So we'll see what color I am tomorrow or
Was this
like in
the
an hour.
natural? This was like a natural self tanner, right?
Yeah, it's called Clean Tan, and it's the drops that you put into your own lotion. And the ratio, I mean, I think I followed the directions. I'm unsure. I could be an Oompa Loompa
Hi,
in a couple
Allie.
hours. So
Yeah.
TBD.
I need Botoxes. What everyone needs Botox. We all need Botox.
I need a haircut, like
I,
a
I
lot of
just
things.
I need it all. I'm like extra retinoling so my Botox can just stay preserved. But now I have I'm my face is gonna fall off if I keep using retinol like I'm using. So don't do it like me, girls. Okay, so we'll let people start joining in.
Yay.
Um, this is our next episode of checking in for Vega Vitality. Basically, our main goal here with checking in is to get people like Miss Abby Hueber, who we have on today. We had another person that we had on the other day who was making masks for people, which was so interesting. Small business owners, just to see how they're navigating through this really tough time. So basically, we want to get anybody and anyone who's willing to talk on and has some great advice to say. So you can take it back to your living room, take it back to your home because we're all stuck in here, and hopefully have a better day tomorrow. Hopefully have a little magic added to your day tomorrow, or advice or some inspiration. So today we are with Abby Hueber. She also she rents at Vega Vitality. You've
Mhm.
probably seen her around there. And Abby, can you tell everybody who's joining in what exactly that you do?
Yeah, so my title, my formal title, I guess, is an integrative functional dietitian. So that's a lot of words. So essentially what that means is I practice root cause medicine. So I look to work with an individual to find out why they're having ill health or lacking optimal health or digestive issues or skin conditions, or you fill in the, whatever X symptom, to see why that's actually occurring in their body, and then to heal it from the root and not just band-aid it with, some proton pump inhibitors or heartburn medication or you name it. So and I have a private practice, Above Health Nutrition, that I run out of Vega Vitality. I also have a telehealth practice too. So the transition from, with the state of affairs that we're in has been pretty seamless with most of my clients. So that's been, very fortunate for that, certainly.
Really tough. And then so check out Abby too. Her Instagram is Above Health. Will you share your email or info for people to contact you, Abby?
Yeah. So it's
Yep.
just Abby, ABBY, and then at abovehealthnutrition.com. And it's always me on the other end of that email. So you'll be speaking directly, and we can take the conversation from there. And even if you're like, I don't even know what she said she does that mean that this will help X, Y, Z condition? So send those questions, and I would be more than happy to, if not help you myself, guide you in the direction of a healthcare practitioner that certainly can get you, whatever help that it is that you need.
Exactly. And Abby's super helpful. Here's an example too. I think that people can kind of like figure out exactly what you do. So gut health.
Yes.
That's everybody and anyone is talking about gut health. And also what you put into your gut shows through on your skin. And
Yeah.
I did not know anything about this world until I met Abby. Talking about different foods that we put in our bodies, how it can react on our jawline to anything in our face. And we learned this year, me and Marwa Osman, about cheese.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were like, why are our jawlines breaking out? What's going on? And I cut back on cheese. Marwa cut it out completely. She does not get the breakouts anymore in her jawline. I've seen a drastic improvement. Mm-hmm. So can you tell people too, actually, how your gut health does respond with your skin?
It. is really where 80% of our immune system lives. And anytime that we have an immune response, that means inflammation. So we can use those words interchangeably, immune response and inflammation.
Okay.
So in terms of our gut health, there's a lot of different factors that are at play. We have the bacterial communities, otherwise known as maybe our microbiome, and we want a nice healthy microbiome that eats the foods that we eat. We have a lot of activity of other things that are in there. So we may have sensitivities to foods. We may have imbalances in gut bacteria. We may have kind of inflammation or degradation to the barrier system of the gut. Number of other things. We could have simmering infections, yeast, parasites, worms, you name it, candida.
Abby, how can we find out if we have any of that going on with our body? Because people are like, oh, maybe I have it, maybe I don't. But how do you go about finding that out, even if you have a parasite in your, which is even creepy for me to say, but you don't know if you have it or not?
Yeah. So the first step I really encourage people, like on your own right now, DIY, of just kind of exploring with your diet. Usually it's like our intuition. You're kind of like, oh, like, you know what, maybe gluten's not my friend, or like maybe dairy's not. Take it out for a month, ideally 2 months. That's kind of the length of time that our immune system can actually kind of reset if it's a sensitivity and forget, and see if that has an impact. If it's something as simple as a food sensitivity, you can do some of that exploration, especially gluten, dairy, grains. Those are going to be the biggest ones.
Okay.
If it's something more like the parasite, the worm, the candida, the barrier function, you know, maybe a mix of all of those things, that's where someone like myself in kind of the integrative functional world really can do. I have a lot of my clients doing stool tests, which is kind of the gold standard to figure out what the environment of that gut is, because what happens in our gut doesn't stay in our gut. So this is to the point that Tara was talking about in terms of things showing up in other areas of the body. If there's inflammation happening in the gut because of any one of those factors that I talked about, those are just inflammatory chemicals that then can travel through the bloodstream and show up on your skin as irritation or acne or eczema or psoriasis. They can show up as increasing achiness in joints, especially those of us that might be prone to more kind of arthritis. They can show up as worsening autoimmune conditions. They can show up as fatigue, mood swings, migraines, all these sorts of things. The list goes on. So that's really how the gut can impact our greater systemic circulation. Certainly also can impact our hormones.
Okay, great. And also what's been going on too during this time, I've been feeling it. I have no sleep schedule anymore. It's completely gone out the window. I get randomly tired throughout the day, which like never really used to happen before. I've been going to sleep at like 3 a.m. I know that we've talked to you about different supplements to take to have a better night's sleep. Can you tell people to basically any supplements or vitamins or what you suggest, different foods to have a better night's sleep? I know a lot of people are feeling this right now. So many of my friends are like, I can't sleep anymore. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of the basics of that are that routine. I know so many of us are looking to like caffeine because, hey, we're at home, we can make another cup. We're also looking for something that's soothing. There's that ritual. So if you're having trouble sleeping, stopping caffeine at noon or earlier is really going to be key. Some of us are even sensitive to caffeine in like chocolate. And even caffeine, you know, in decaffeinated teas and things like that, which sounds a little crazy, but you know, if we're already heightened and having this challenge with sleep, definitely caffeine noon or earlier. Some of us need to even stop it at 10 a.m. or earlier, and really trying to keep it to 1 to 2 cups. And then really making sure that our sleeping environment, so that we're keeping our circadian rhythm. So circadian rhythm is our sensitivity to light and darkness, and that's what controls the hormone melatonin, which is in balance also with cortisol. And we've got a lot of cortisol going on because that's our stress hormone.
Right.
So at night, when it starts to get dark, that's when melatonin's produced. So these glasses, I actually don't wear glasses. You might see the little blue or yellow like reflection. These are actually my blue light blocking glasses. So I wear these whenever I'm looking at a screen or watching television or something, usually after 4 or 5 p.m. Or if I'm spending the entire day on a screen, I'll wear them because they're helping my body to not be confused whether, you know, it's now almost 6:30 at night. It's starting to get a little darker out. So my body should be transitioning to producing more melatonin and decreasing my production of cortisol. So I'm essentially putting myself to sleep. So I want to sleep in a super dark environment so I can barely see my hand in front of my face. It's so dark. I want it to be nice and cold. And then first thing in the morning, you need to get light in your eyeballs. So I even will just like roll out of bed and like throw open my shades and just stand there and stare. And I know we haven't had much sunshine, right? But even that, just you want that exposure. If you can get out and go for a walk first thing in the morning, that is huge because that's our cortisol awakening response, our CAR. That is actually huge for our immune system, which is a huge theme of everything that everyone is talking about now, huge for improving autoimmune conditions in those of us that struggle with those. So really this kind of routine, as you talked about, I know, you know, some of us find ourselves like going through, well, what I've been introduced, TikTok. Now I'm like, hours are wasted.
Well, it's literally a black hole. Yeah. TikTok is turning into a severe black hole.
Totally. But like we have to create those boundaries. And I know that being adults, we think we're so far from kids and bedtime routines and things like that in terms of our own routines, but we're not. We need routines. And this is a time that we 100% need to rely on those routines. So starting a bedtime routine for yourself, which might involve a bath, put some Epsom salts in there, which actually absorbs magnesium through your skin, which is one of those sleep supportive, helps to turn off the rumination in our brain of just the what ifs that are happening. You can take that in a supplement form too. You want to take a magnesium glycinate if you want it to be absorbed into your systemic body. Magnesium citrate is another form, but that's going to mobilize your GI system. So if you're constipated, magnesium citrate's great. But if you're not, it's not going to feel so great the next morning.
Right. So magnesium glycate.
Yep. Like, glycinate is, yep. No, totally. And I would say about like 300 milligrams, always being mindful if you take other supplements and things, but you can also take an Epsom salt bath. Epsom salt is sold at like CVS for like $5 for a giant bag. Put a cup in your bath and you only need to be in there for like 5 to 10 minutes because it absorbs through the skin. And so that will help to kind of calm. So that can be part of a bedtime routine that we start to kind of take this short bath, we absorb through. Maybe there's some essential oils or things that we're kind of diffusing in the air. Maybe we read a book, maybe we make some tea, just doing these kind of activities to help us to kind of turn our body and our brain onto like, oh, okay, it's going to be time for bed, put our phone away, turn off screens. I mean, again, preaching to the choir because I'm like falling asleep with my phone this far.
Right.
So
what are your thoughts on the vitamin melatonin that a lot of people will tend to use to help fall asleep?
Yeah. So melatonin can be really helpful. Typically, it's only going to help someone to fall asleep. So if you're somebody that's waking up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, that's a different, melatonin's not going to be so helpful to help you stay asleep. Usually I don't want clients taking more than like 2.5 milligrams of melatonin. 5 milligrams of melatonin would be like the max. So because it can sometimes have impacts on our blood sugar. But what we would think about is kind of why are we needing this melatonin? Maybe it's a kind of a light thing. If we're having trouble staying asleep, there's some supports that we can use there, but those are a little bit more, can have impacts with some like SSRI medications and things like that, like 5-HTP is one of them. I'd want you to talk to a practitioner before just using those because there can be some pretty serious interactions that might happen there. But we also think too, a lot of us are drinking more, maybe, you know, that glass of wine a night. When we drink, it decreases, it's a suppressant, it's a depressant. So it depresses our neurotransmitters, makes us feel uninhibited, makes us feel good. But we're probably shooting up, at least for me and a lot of my clients, we like at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, which in Chinese medicine is called the liver hour.
Yep.
Like shoot out of bed at that time because that depressant of our neurotransmitters and even of our blood sugar all of a sudden gets shot up when that alcohol dissipates from the system. And then we're sitting up with anxiety at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So, you know, what can be kind of a calming activity of having a glass or 2 or 3 or, you know, whatever at night actually can really impact our sleep. So my biggest guide for drinking whilst quarantined is trying to make at least 50% of the week alcohol free.
Okay.
So that would be, so then at least you're getting 50% of the week of the best quality sleep you can get.
Okay. I'm on board with that because I need my sleep back. I need it back.
The last one too, Yeah,
The girls love Epsom salt with the lavender scent, and I
it's the
found that
best.
too. I forget the brand, but they sell it at like CVS and Rite Aid. It's awesome. They also have a lotion too.
Yes, it can be
Um,
absorbed anything through the skin. There's a spray for it too.
okay.
It's a little gritty, not as quite as nice as the bath.
Ooh, Abby Cushman has a great question.
Yes.
Now she's talking about water.
Okay. Oh yeah.
What about filtered water versus tap water to killing good bacteria in your gut?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of using a filter. There's a
Okay.
lot of things that we put into our water. Like I, sit here. I try to get the biggest water glasses known to man, so that anywhere I go in my house, I'm always, it's 32 ounces, trying to drink at least half your body weight in water. Kind of
Okay.
foundation there. So you take your body weight and divide it in half. So if I'm 150 pounds, half of that is 75. So I need to aim for 75 ounces of fluid a day.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
and really only 1 cup of caffeinated beverage will count towards that. And then everything else is just you need to drink a cup of water to compensate. So if I'm having 3 cups of coffee, I can count one of those to hydration, and then I need 2 additional cups of water to compensate for those 2 cups of coffee, for instance. Um, but yeah, a water filter in terms of, our tap water is great. Boston, we're lucky to have such clean water, but we do chlorinate our water. We fluorinate our water. And those actually are more impactful of our thyroid function than anything. So I recommend getting a filter. You can get filters into your whole entire house, a little bit more of an investment, typically around like a couple $1,000. But you can also get a standalone filter that goes either inserted into your fridge, or you can use like a Brita filter or something. There's some great companies. Mark Hyman actually posted about one the other day that I hadn't heard of. Mark Hyman's an amazing functional medicine doctor. He actually had a discount for a really amazing, similar to a Brita filter, but a much high tier. And I think he had like $150 off of it. So if you're looking for a water filter, go to Mark Hyman's website, and he had a discount for a pretty impressive one, the name of which has totally escaped me, but I bookmarked it on my computer. So
You're impressed with our water system in Boston, but you do prefer filtered water. Like,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, good. Definitely.
I use a Brita as well, or I grab Central water.
Perfect.
So since people are feeling extra tired, if they're not getting their proper amount of sleep, hopefully after this talk you'll get inspired. But you also make these energy balls over on her Instagram page. This is Abby Hueber. Her Instagram is Above Health. She has all the nice goodies over there. Can you tell us about the energy bites or any other forms to get your energy throughout the day? It's kind of tough to get it because we're stuck in the house. But other than just grabbing like tons and tons of cups of coffee, which isn't that great for us, what goes into the energy balls, or any other tips?
Yes. So whenever we think of kind of eating, snacking, all of that, if you're going to eat something, make it so that it's a robust kind of food that actually has a fullness factor. It's got protein. There's 3 foundations to everything that I recommend. There's protein, there's healthy fat, and there's a fiber from a vegetable or a fruit, ideally, or some fiber source in that. So protein, healthy fat, and a fiber at the base of everything. And then if we add a carbohydrate to that, we've got the balance of our blood sugar. And that is really where that kind of fatigue, post-meal fatigue comes from, is that roller coaster of blood sugar. So that's what we're always trying to do, is to really maintain that balance of blood sugar. That's incredibly anti-aging too, from really the foundation of it. So the energy balls, for instance, are a combination of those. So they've got they've got hemp hearts and chia seeds, which are great sources of protein. They've got some pumpkin seeds, which are great sources of protein, and zinc for our immune function. Also, all really, really fibrous. They've got a little bit of oats, some nut butter, which is a great source of healthy fat. So they're actually really satisfying. They have what I like to call a fullness factor. So when we think about eating, I really want to encourage people not to be grazing all day. That's actually exhausting, because digesting takes a ton of energy. So So we're just eating all day. We're demanding that our body use all of this energy to go to digestion. And then we're shocked as to why we have no energy. And also maybe, why we're not fitting into our pants the next time we ever will put jeans on again. But so
jeans, I miss you.
So I really encourage that idea of really like having a meal and then waiting 3 to 4 hours. Now, if you're hungry before 3 to 4 hours, the little light bulb should go on of saying, did I not have enough protein? Did I not have enough healthy fat? Did I not have enough fiber? Because we really want those eating experiences to be able to tide us over. Certainly eating out of boredom, things like that. So when you do choose snacks that might be between meals, something like an energy ball or something even like, vegetables and hummus or an apple and nut butter, those are the partners and the pairings of that protein, that healthy fat, and that fiber, because we really want to make sure when we eat something, we get this kind of satisfaction from it, and we get some periods of time of not eating in between meals. And that's really for anti-inflammatory reasons because of the energy demand of digestion.
I need to go make the energy balls. I mean,
they're really good too. Even my students love them. I also write and teach a wellness curriculum, and my kids, I posted the other day, and they're emailing me about how much they love them. So if you are a parent with kids, get those kids in the kitchen and have them help you make them. My kids love it at school.
Also with vitamins, a lot of people are getting, I mean, every media outlet is talking about all these different vitamins to take to build your immune system, or different ways you can build it at home. Do you have any vitamins that you suggest at this time that people should be taking? And also, if they do schedule a session with you too, you break that all down for people as well, which is helpful.
Yes, I'm a huge stickler of vitamins. I'd rather have someone not take a supplement at all or take the highest quality supplement that they can find. So, a lot of those supplements are really hard to find right now. It's even hard sometimes for me to find them for clients because a lot of them are sold out. People kind of went crazy, but they're forgetting about the supplements that you have in your kitchen cabinets. So for instance, I mentioned pumpkin seeds. We think about zinc is one of the most immune supporting nutrients that we can have. It actually impacts or impedes the kind of ability for a virus to take over our cells. And so really looking towards zinc rich foods, and that's like pumpkin seeds, that's lentils, that's cashews, that's a lot of these pantry staples. We could throw cashew butter into our energy balls with pumpkin seeds and make them be this like zinc amazing bomb that's really, antiviral. So thinking of allowing ourselves to really treat food as medicine is really, I think, a really important part of kind of one of the only things that we can do at this time, and kind of seemingly trapped into our homes. And it doesn't, fresh foods are amazing, colorful fruits and vegetables. It sounds like a PBS statement, but there's an incredible amount of science behind that. So just eating a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables really give us our phytonutrients, our plant-based nutrients that are incredibly immune supporting. In terms of things that probably like an actual supplement that we can take for immune support, decreasing any inflammation in the body with something like a curcumin. So that's like a turmeric. It's the active form of that. You can buy it in a powdered form and add it into cooking and things like that. So it's going to decrease inflammation. And remember, we talked about immune response and inflammation are together. So whenever we take any inflammation out of the body, we essentially make the to-do list or the homework responsibilities of our immune system lighter. So then our immune system has more energy and ability to be able to go out and protect us in the way that we really are hoping to. I do think there are some good like barrier functions for when we kind of go out, like elderberry and zinc. There are some lozenges. I actually happen to have them sitting right in front of me.
Let's see them.
So these guys, Zand, I think I got these at like CVS or Whole Foods or something like that. But those could be helpful to actually, when you're going, before you like go to the grocery store or go out somewhere, great source of vitamin C, a little bit of zinc, kind of create a little bit of a barrier. There's silver sprays you can spray up your nose to decrease of kind of, again, that respiratory. So there's a whole host of things. Medicinal mushrooms, actually, like 4-sigmatic makes it so they taste amazing. I don't know if anyone's had those before, but they make like hot cocos or coffees or things like that. So mushrooms actually stimulate our body's immune system. And we can buy mushrooms certainly at the grocery store, like shiitake mushrooms, roast them in the oven. They're like finger foods, but we can also use companies like that. And those companies aren't, sold out in terms of products and things like that. But I do like to use food whenever possible. And to support immune system, there's a lot of nutrient-dense foods for that.
I love that. And then if you haven't made it to the grocery store, you just have a zinc vitamin, how much would you suggest to take for like the vitamin zinc?
Yeah, so zinc's a little tricky in terms of, I really would say, start low and slow. That's really what we want to think about, especially with all of these nutrients. So I would say like 5 milligrams of zinc, and then slowly increase it up to probably max like 15 milligrams of zinc. And I would never want anyone taking that for more than like a month or two, because
Yeah.
actually too much zinc can decrease immune function. So it's like a Goldilocks.
That's honestly really good to know. Hi, Zoe.
Yes.
Hi, Ashley. So taking too much zinc can actually, and people, I've seen this too, that they're like overdoing the zinc
Yeah.
lately because they want to protect their immune system,
Yeah.
because honestly, this disease is so scary, what's going on right now with the coronavirus. So they're trying anything and everything, but I don't think that they're looking at the details. So if you could repeat that one more time, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. A lot of supplements work like I call it like the Goldilocks effect. We don't want too much, we don't want too little. So zinc
Okay.
is definitely one of them. So if you're going to start taking a zinc supplement, I think first of all, if you're on a number of other medications, like it's always, you need to talk to somebody about before incorporating any new supplement. But I would start really low at about 5 milligrams. So you might even have a capsule of zinc that you break open, dump half out, and only take half.
Okay.
Or break, if it's a tablet, break it in half. Because sometimes if we need zinc, have like an actual need of deficiency of zinc, it actually can make us feel pretty crappy to just kind of dump a bunch in, because it'll actually help, it'll actually start us to detoxify from copper and all of these other pieces. So we want it low and slow. Take 5, start to increase it over every couple of days. And then I would probably max out at around like, I want to say 15 milligrams, just because I'm talking to people that I don't know. Sometimes I would give someone 30 milligrams, but that's a lot of zinc. And I would never do that for more than a month or two for most just average people that we don't know your zinc, capability. So that's why if we look to it from food, like the pumpkin seeds, a third of a cup of pumpkin seeds a day gives you a full day's dose of zinc.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Zoe has a great question too. Can you take too much vitamin C?
So you can, so in terms of, if you take too much vitamin, if you take over 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, you are, and don't know if anyone's had this experience, but you are going to have straight up diarrhea. I'm just going to say.
You don't need that during quarantine, people.
No, that's why you bought all the toilet paper.
I know, maybe that's why people are overdosing on vitamin C.
Yeah. So if you do, so you could take, I mean, there are high doses of vitamin C you can take, but I would break them up into 1,000 milligrams or lower, like per dose. And then usually I would say about like 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C is probably more than adequate. But again, we're overlooking all of these amazing food sources. So like herbs, like cilantro and parsley are amazing sources of vitamin C. And I know people kind of poo-poo herbs. They don't stay that long in the refrigerator, but if you buy them, you can cook with them for a couple days and then turn them into a green sauce. So this is something that I love to do and encourage clients to do. So you put some herbs in the blender.
Looks so good.
Whatever it is. Yeah, you put some onions in there, put some raw garlic. Talk about an immune support right there. And we don't eat raw garlic very often. Put some lemon juice in there, more vitamin C, maybe a little vinegar, so help support stomach acid and killing that bacteria. Blend it all up, and now you have a sauce that can be more creative and add to different things, but it's also this nutrient dense blend of these incredible immune supporting, foods all together. So it's kind of that beauty of food as medicine, but also making it delicious.
I love that. Zoe said that sometimes she takes vitamin C and her daily vitamin as well. I know that I actually do that too, Zoe. And so she was wondering if that's okay. I think maybe, so do you have like, no, well, every person's different, but like, what would be like your 3 vitamins or like 3 essentials to have in your kitchen, maybe like during this time? I don't know if you can cut it down to just 3.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, to quickly answer Zoe's question, vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin, so you're just going to pee out whatever amount of vitamin C you're not going to use in a probably 24-hour period. So that's totally fine.
Zoe.
Vitamin D would be my first recommendation in terms of those of us that live in New England. There's no amount of sunshine, no matter if we're running around in the streets on a sunny day naked, that we're going to get enough vitamin C this season. I don't recommend doing that. I'm sure that the police are doing other things. So vitamin D is huge. That's an fundamental immune supporting nutrient. I usually like my clients take around 4,000 IUs, and I like a dropper that has a vitamin D3 and a K2. Really important for bone health, decreasing of autoimmune risk, the decreasing of cancer risk, things go on. The next one would, I think a multivitamin is a great kind of catch-all.
Yep.
If I'm working with clients, I usually will have them supplement more specific nutrients because we can test for those types of things. But with just talking to kind of a general population, it's a great way to kind of just make sure that it's kind of catching everybody. We want to go high quality though. So companies like Jarrow, Jarrow, it's sold at Whole Foods, readily available, or Now, N-A-N-O-W, is a great company. Mega Food is another. Those would be kind of the three top like multivitamins. They make most of them from like food-based sources. So those would be kind of my recommendations for that. And then, the third one, like fighting between what I would put probably. Yeah. I'm again talking about.
I'm like, you're on a deserted island. You're
like seriously. Vitamins. I'm going to go with omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay, omega-3 fatty acid.
Which again, we can eat these. So we can eat these from the chia seeds I talked about, from the hemp seeds I talked about. We can certainly eat them from canned sardines. I know not everyone's favorite food, but hey, like survival quarantine time. Yeah. Canned wild salmon, or obviously fresh wild salmon. Things like pasture-raised egg yolks. We want them to be pasture-raised because they want to get out, eat the bugs and the worms, and get the omega-3. Grass-fed beef is actually an omega-3 rich food. So we can get these omega-3, but they're incredibly anti-inflammatory. So giving us beautiful, luxurious hair, skin, and nails, but then also really helping to heal the inflammation in the gut, support immune function from that way, and really help to kind of support so many functions, but particularly our brain function. I think it's just an all-time favorite. I would want to put a B complex in there too.
Okay, yeah, B complex. I've been like religiously taking my B complex ever since you told me about that, and I feel so much better now. Yeah. Also, guys, if you don't follow Abby, you're missing out. Okay, Above Health. This is the amazing matcha turmeric chai mornings right there, and I feel like we all need this recipe at this time.
I'm like, I should probably make it again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a great company. Jamu is out of Rhode Island, and it's all organic turmeric chai like blend.
And she lists the recipe right there for you guys. She lists everything there. Awesome.
Food is medicine.
Food is medicine, according to Miss Above Health, and we're all going to get on it. Okay, Abby just asked, I bought, pardon me if I butchered this word, biocidin spray.
Oh, yeah, biocidin.
Biocidin spray. After she saw it in your Insta, can you tell us about the benefits?
So I'm sitting like right where I'm like walk out. So this is biocidin. Yeah. All of my products right here. So this is a blend of 17 different herbs that have antiviral, antibacterial, anti-parasitic, all of these different benefits. So essentially supporting our immune system. So I'll use this one as, we think of like defense and offense. So this is kind of my defense. My offense is my nutrient dense food as medicine. Okay. But my defense are things like this, that every time I go to the grocery store or somewhere that I know I'm going to be like in close quarters around other people, I'll take it and take 4 sprays into the back of my throat. And essentially what it's doing is we have, through our digestive system, there's an immune system, an innate immune system that's actually lives in what's called the mucosal membrane, which is the inside lining, the kind of wet lining of our digestive system. Okay. And that immune system is increased with things like biocidin and things like mushrooms, like that 4-sigmatic I mentioned, or even just good old shiitake mushrooms that we are eating from the grocery store. So it essentially is giving us more protection. And we really see it in research that it actually increases the gut mucosal membrane immune system for up to 5 hours. So that's, again, more defense. That's kind of like combating any of those, somebody sneezing near us or all that good stuff. Yeah. So I would say 4 sprays before you go into any public places. And then I would just do it for no longer than like 10 days every day. So take a couple breaks from it, just because any of these types of things, if we use them long-term every single day, they can start to impact our microbiome, our beneficial bacteria. So unless we want that to be a thing, then just kind of take some breaks from it.
Okay. I need to add that to my cart.
Yep. Yeah. So, and sometimes we can't buy these without provider access.
Oh, okay.
I can usually, if anyone's really interested in this, I can kind of help connect you I think that they were sold out of this a couple, at least last week. They may have restocked, but if anyone's really interested, you can send me an email and we can, maybe you can become a client and we can get you stocked up on all this type of stuff.
Yep, and you can follow Abby Hueber right over on her Instagram too, Above Health. Abby, if you want to say your email again for people that want to obviously find out more information or use you as their vitamin extraordinaire, biocide extraordinaire.
Yes, so my email is Abby, ABBY, at abovehealthnutrition.com. And I really specialize in gut health and all things kind of GI. Along with that comes hormones and autoimmune and skin conditions and things, because everything, in functional medicine, there's a saying, health starts in the gut. Or actually, functional medicine, they say disease starts in the gut, but I'm a glass half full. So I say health starts in the gut. So that's really what I specialize in my practice. But I work with people of all different kind of conditions and symptoms and desires, especially even people that feel great and they just want to turn the volume up. So you can always just reach out to me on that email, and any old question. I'm also a middle school wellness teacher, so I literally don't have, no question is a silly question. I get them all.
Abby Hueber is an integrative functional dietitian. She gave us so much information. I feel blessed to actually have heard all that information. I know a lot of our viewers have too. Any takeaways that you just wanted, you could say it again, or anything that you want our followers to take back to their couch, take back to their home, because we're all stuck in here, and just have some inspo or just some advice?
Yeah, I think finding a routine, building a routine, and really being, mindful of that routine is one of the biggest things, particularly keeping our bedtime, trying to be in bed as best we can, closest to 10. We get the best, most restorative sleep from 10 p.m. on. Okay. Trying to get daylight first thing in the morning is going to be one of the biggest things. Getting outside at least once a day, even if it's literally just opening your door and standing on your front stoop for 5 minutes and then going back inside. Like if that's, rainy days like this, if that's it, it's just that fresh air, that exposure. Trying to move at least once a day, that's going to help with sleep and help with appetite regulation and hormone balance and all of these really fundamental things. And I really recommend get into your kitchen. We tend to not have this much time to do these types of things. So, coming up with learning a new skill, especially around cooking, is only going to help you in the long run.
I love it. All right. Everybody go to Abby Hueber's page, Above Health, hit the follow button if you know it's good for you, because she just gave amazing tips and advice. She has the best recipes on there to keep us all on track, to have us feeling our best through this quarantine, post-quarantine. Basically checking in. Again, it's just our way to talk to people like Abby, who is so smart. I tell her this all the time. I think I learned something new from you within every conversation. And just to talk to small business owners, people in the community that are trying to navigate through this uncertain time. And I hope that you're getting a tip, a piece of advice, inspiration to have a little bit of magic, just add it to your day tomorrow, or just to have a better day than today. So thank you so much, Abby, for chatting with us. And you gave us awesome info. So we'll see you guys tomorrow with Jo Monahan. She also works at Vega. She's fabulous as well. I think I might turn into a consult because my back hurts, but it's okay. So yeah, again, Above Health, follow her on Instagram. Thank you all for watching. Thanks, Abby.
Bye.
Bye.